Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel, #MovieBay. I am MovieBay, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a season review over the Traitors UK Series 3. Yeah, over the across the water, they don't say season 3, they say series 3. But before we get into it though, I would like for you all to consider subscribing to the channel if you're new. If you're not new, hey, what's up? Y'all already know we about to get into another Traitors bag. That's what we about to do. But if you're new, please consider subscribing because I do reviews, reactions, and commentary to movies and television. And if that's the type of content you like, please consider subscribing to the channel, especially for the reality competition shows. I've done The Circle, I think all seasons on Netflix. I've done The Mole, I do The Traitors, I've done Big Brother, I've done Love Island. I do the competition shows. Okay, so subscribe with me, binge the playlist, and stick around. All right, so let's go ahead and get into what we came here for. We came here for the Traitors UK Series 3. And let me preface by saying I have watched all of the Traitors in every country except for Canada. I didn't even know Canada had one. So now I got to figure out how I could watch Canada because I actually heard it was pretty good. But this is my first foreign, quote unquote, I guess it's not foreign if you're from the UK, season that I am going to be reviewing on the YouTube. So let's get into the basics. I am going to do a series review. So I'm only going to talk about like main highlights, main storylines, and then my final thoughts at the end, of course, compared to the US. So stay tuned for that. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into said cast. All right, so we have, if y'all didn't know, like if you're one of the US viewers and you haven't watched any across the pond shows, they have civilians. It's not celebrities, and if there are celebrities, it's probably like 1-2 in the mix influencer type people. But in the UK, it's all civilians. All right, so we have our lovely cast here. Should I run through the names? No, y'all can read. But I would like to say that it is a very diverse cast. As you can see, we have people of all races, ethnicities, religions, and also something that was highlighted throughout the season is disabilities. So we have people who are not people, but a person who has autism, someone who was born with cerebral palsy, and another contestant who has a glass prosthetic eye. And I ain't gonna say it's, what they did was they didn't spring it all on us at once. It definitely, this information was revealed as it went with the storyline, so I can applaud them for that. Now, in this mix of people, we also have people who are lying. Of course, we got the liars, y'all. We got people lying about their jobs, like Leanne here, who says that she is a nail tech or a hair salon person, and what she really is an ex-soldier. Okay, and if y'all look at her, pretty bleach blonde, you're thinking, oh, okay, yeah, nail tech, that's what it gives. No, baby, she was in the military. Okay, and then we also have people who are lying about where they are from in order to appear more honest and trustworthy, such as Charlotte, who is really from London but says she's from Wales because Wales people, I guess they have like I guess like what's the word I'm looking for? A reputation for being honest. Okay, so she's putting on a whole fake accent and everything like that. All right. Also, amongst this group, you might have noticed that we have two women that look really similar, Armani and Maya, and they are sisters. Now they decide that they are going to disclose this information to the group because Armani said, we are so much alike. It's like if we lie and say that we don't know each other, everybody gonna be like, okay, y'all lying, we know that y'all know each other. And honestly, I feel like it was the right thing to do simply because they do look so much alike. Okay, any other time, like if you got a husband, a boyfriend, or somebody else that you related to but don't look like, we can finesse that. But like they really just look like siblings, if you ask me. All right, so this episode starts off, or the season starts off with a train sacrifice. And if you watch Beast Games, I did do Beast Games as well, or the US version, this is how they quote unquote brought back the Cage Boys. Okay, so in the UK they did the sacrifice and 3 people had to voluntarily get off a train, and that was it. All right, and those 3 people were Fazia, Jack, and Alexander, and then we are never to see from them for a hot minute, and everybody else proceeds with the game. So the Traitors are selected, and we have 3 women, and I just love this dynamic straight off top because I've never seen it before. You know what I'm saying? I had never seen 3 men, 3 women. I've seen 2 men, 1 woman, 2 women, 1 man. 2 women, 2 men. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we have 3 women identifying people who are the traitors. Okay, and we have Linda, we have Mina, and then we have Armani. Yes, one of the sisters. Okay. And if you just think about the traitors, I feel like stereotypically when it comes to the civilian seasons, it's gonna have people accuse the older people because nobody's gonna accuse the older people, right? So I was like, Linda might get sussed out pretty quickly. Mina, I felt like depending on how she plays her personality, will she get sussed out or not? Because she could be low key or she could be more opinionated. But we quickly find out that Armani is the person that is the more opinionated type of traitor. So let's go ahead and get into Armani, shall we? So Armani is like our Bob the drag queen character if you're coming off of US season 3. She's loud, she's sociable, she's always in the mix, she's with every friend group, she knows everybody's tea, and she runs the round tables. It even gets to the point though where not only is she, in the mix, but that confidence turns into cockiness in the turret. And she tells her fellow traders, Linda and Mina, that, hey, y'all not doing enough. Like, y'all need to start throwing out names. And so, it's, like me. And Mina and Linda look at each other like, baby, you're doing too much. Baby, you're doing too much. Do they tell her that? No. Linda kind of hints at, well, hey, Armani, like, I've actually heard people say your name before. And Armani's like, I ain't worried about nobody saying my name. Speculations is going to come. That's a part of the game. I'm cool with it. And Mina, on the other hand, is like, I'm going to just sit here and I'm going to let her cockiness bite her in her own butt. Because Mina also heard other people saying Armani's name. So unbeknownst to Armani, Armani is actually a target. But like I said, unbeknownst to her because she doesn't believe it. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this particular round table where Armani's name is brought up. Linda did warn her that her name was floating out there. So Armani didn't really think too much about it. Quick little dismiss. People were actually scared to bring up Armani. Like, they were so, like, convinced, like, she has to be one. Like, she's always in everybody's conversation. She runs these round tables. But people were afraid to target her because it's like, is she going to bite back at the round table? That's why I really compare her to Bob the drag queen. Honestly. So when it comes to that though, not only was her name brought up at the round table, but her sister Mia doubled down on it. I said, what kind of sister? If you follow my community tab, I made a post about this because, like, with sisters like these, who need enemies? How is my own sister going to bring it to the round table that she thinks I'm a traitor? Now, day one, of course they asked each other, are you a traitor? Are you a traitor? No, I'm faithful. But like, editing wise, Maya has never brought that up to her sister again. But you bring it up at the round table in front of all these people? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? So honestly, even though some people were a little bit convinced that it was Armani, when her sister testified against her and was like, I'm 60% sure that she's a traitor, that's when the vote swung into Armani. And Armani is the first traitor eliminated. Now, after this, of course, Mia is seemed like oh, by the way, peep this. This is Mina at the bottom voting for Armani. Okay. I said, ooh. Now, she didn't say anything at the round table, but she definitely flipped that card and it had Armani's name. And I do think in this particular case, that vote really sent Armani home. I'm not 100% sure. Y'all could correct me in the comments, but I am pretty sure in this particular case that that vote really did count for Armani. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it's like, I voted, but you was already gonna lose anyways. This was a really close race. All right. So, where am I at, child? Oh, so of course, now that one traitor is down, and after every banishment, there is an unaliving. And Mina and Linda go back to the tower. And of course, Linda also expresses like, you voted for her too. And then that's when Mina was like, I will never turn on you. This is a sisterhood. Everybody was suspicious of her. I had to. I said, oh, Mina, you gonna be that traitor, huh? You're gonna be that traitor, huh? And Linda, you gonna believe her, ain't ya? Ain't ya? Well, of course, they have to decide who they're gonna unalive that night. And it was between, of course, it's always between 3 or 4 people, but I'm so happy they decided. Guess what they decided, y'all? They decided to eliminate the baby sister, Mia, because Mia not only solidified herself as a faithful, because with the sister duo coming in, people automatically thought, okay, one person got to be a traitor, one person got to be a faithful. Why would they bring this dynamic in and not play with it? You know what I'm saying? Production wise, right? So we got rid of the traitor, which means this one is a faithful. So not only did she kind of like solidify herself as being a faithful, nobody was ever going to banish her, but as a traitor, I need to get you out because it's your fault that I'm a traitor down. You know what I'm saying? And I said, I love that. I love that for them. You get rid of one sister and I get rid of the other one since you want to play like that. I was so upset because, like, why would you say your sister's name at the round table? Are you dumb? If I thought my sister was a traitor, I'm going to keep that information up until the very end, because guess who is protecting me in that tower? My sister. Duh. All right, let's go ahead and get into the next plot point up. But before we do, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you hadn't done so already. Consider subscribing to the channel and leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below about this sister on sister at the round table. Boom. Let's get to the next one. All right, boom. So of course we have, not of course, but we have some returning cast members. And that are the people who self-sacrifice themselves on the train. So we got Fazia, Jack, and Alexander. And if you watch the US, this is similar to the Cage Boys. However, all 3 people are not going to come into the competition. Only 2 people that receive the most coins are going to come into the competition. And of course, they do have shields to give away to the people of their choosing. The biggest highlight from this, though, is Fazia and Alexander are the 2 that got voted back into the game. And they both are returning as faithfuls. So when you have new people come into the game, you're automatically suspicious. Are they a faithful? Are they a traitor? I do wish that we found that, production would have revealed maybe Jack was a traitor and, the faithfuls actually chose the right 2. But regardless of, or were all of them going to come in as faithfuls anyways? But regardless of, that suspicion was going to be on them from day 1. All right, so another major plot point that happened was, now that we are down to 2 traitors, Mina and Linda, they of course are faced with the opportunity to recruit. And this one is not an ultimatum, it's just simply a recruit. And they decided that it's between Anna, Fazia, and Freddie. Now, Freddie already has suspicions on him, so he and Anna already has suspicions on them, so they were going to kind of be looked at as a scapegoat. And Fazia is new, so people are kind of suspicious that she's a traitor, or could be a traitor, but she is also smart and she is hot on Linda's tail. So recruiting her would get them, get one of the quote-unquote enemies onto their side. But they decided to go with Anna. In order to frame her, because she has a lot of heat on her as well. But Anna actually rejects this. Okay, now this is kind of like the middle of the season, so let's talk about some major plot points that happened, not in detail, but we are going to talk about some major plot points that did happen. Excuse me. So all right, so this is a part of the game where everybody starts to turn on each other. In particular, there is a very strong friend group alliance. And this is when I want to highlight traitor Mina. Okay, now this friend group alliance, if I'm not mistaken, is Leon, Tyler, Leanne, and maybe Olivia. I think it's Olivia. So Olivia, Leon, Leanne, and Tyler. They basically hang around each other. Oh, and it was Mia as well, but she was eliminated, right? So they hang around each other. They, they're always conversing or what have you. So Mina kind of drops the bug in somebody's ear after the challenge. I believe it was Freddie. And she was like, yeah, people are kind of like clicking up. They're acting really cliquish. So now Freddie is going around the house and he notices it. So he starts talking and so on and so forth. Now people are kind of suspicious. Well, actually, prior to, Mina infiltrates the friend group. So she kind of adds herself in the friend group. So she starts hanging out with them a little bit, just enough to get some information. So now that the rumor that it's a clique going around, and well, maybe y'all are blind to the fact that one of y'all has to be a traitor, that group starts to self-implode. Boy, when I tell you they started turning on each other, with the quickness too, it was just as easy as that, as saying one of y'all have to be a traitor. and they all started turning on each other. I mean, Olivia, Leon, they turned on Tyler, Leanne turned on Tyler, everybody. Okay, they just started turning on each other. Something else that happened is I'll talk about that one last. There are some faithfuls that are just lying for no reason. Not hypothetically. For instance, Dan. Dan is really he's the one who's autistic, and he said that his brain works differently when it comes to emotions, I guess. Like, he is more so like facts, and he'll worry about the emotion or empathy later. And at first, before I knew his, situation, I was like, I don't like Dan and I don't like Joe. Like, to me, they're just like some heartless people. Like, trust me, I am a gamer through and through, but they are just like, when it comes to like a discussion, it's just like shut down, and I'm talking over it. By the way, at the round table, it was a lot of over talking. Couldn't be me. But they are really much so like, your argument is stupid, but they didn't have any valid points to why you're shooting other people's arguments down. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just didn't like that about them. Yeah, and I also forgot to mention that Kasem, he was a target for a very long time, and then that target switched to Freddie, and I just didn't like. It just didn't feel right to me because they didn't have any real concrete. Just, I feel like you're a traitor because, oh well, you're such a good guy. Oh, shut up. Oh, shut up. I don't want to hear that. So because I'm a good guy, you think I'm a traitor, right? You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so we had Faithful's lying during a challenge. Dan specifically was lying about who he marked to not have a shield. He lied 2 or 3 times. So when that was brought up at the round table, not a lot of people were like, we don't really think you're a traitor, but as a faithful, you're playing for self. And he has said that many times throughout the show. Like, I don't care that you're mad. This is a selfish game. And he has said that through and through. And honestly, if I was a faithful, I would have voted Dan out too, for the simple fact that you might not be a traitor, but you're not the type of faithful that I want to go to the end. Because if it's a selfish game, you're going to vote me out and not even split the money with me. So I felt like as a faithful, that was a good choice for them to banish Dan. And then lastly, the last thing I want to talk about, this is when a lot of people start questioning, why am I still here? And when I tell y'all, that started getting on my damn nerves. Stop asking why you're here. Oh, it has to be somebody I'm close to. That's why I'm still in the competition. As of now, when people started saying all that rhetoric, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it was 22 people. No, 20. It's still over 15 people in the house. And you think that you're so damn important that you're being kept around by a traitor for a specific reason. Quit it. The only person who really had a reason to say that was Jake, because Jake was on Linda from day one. And because of that, I can't get rid of you. It's too obvious. So I'm going to keep you around. But everybody else just felt like they were so important. And why am I still here? Shut up. If I was a traitor, I'm like, they want to be eliminated so bad. Wait till I get to that traitor's tower. You can go home. At this point. Because like, y'all are nothing to worry about. But actually, one of those people did make it to the end. And I wonder if that was a good strategy of hers to keep saying that out loud. Like, why am I still here? It has to be somebody close to me. Because if somebody close to me, which somebody was kind of close to her, that was a traitor. If they take me out now, then they're going to start looking at people close to me. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it worked. I just hated how many people thought they were that damn important. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the next highlight of this season. And it was a game called The Deathmatch. And this was the in plain sight elimination. And another risky. I hate the in plain sights because to me, it's just too risky for the traitors to get through. And every time you think that they're about to get caught, it's just editing playing tricks on us. Okay, so basically they had shortlisted people for elimination, and it was Leon, Anna, who reject the recruitment, Fazia, who's on their tail, and Alexander, who he was, a part of the cage people, right? And Leon is just a trusted individual, a faithful of the faithfuls, if you may. So they chose those people, and they had to play a game where basically you have 2 cards in your hand, and then at the end of each, and you have to just, take a card from somebody. So it's like, I want Michael's left card. Then Michael has to give me his left card. And it's only 1 life card, and if you end the round with a life card, you are saved. So at the very end, you are the person who never had the life card or never ended the game with the life card. You are the one that is eliminated. So how they did it was, Anna is a first. Shout out to Fazia. And if I was Anna, I would have thanked Fazia, because Fazia started with the card. Anna took the card, and Fazia never asked for it back or never signaled anybody that girl had the card. So then Alex was the next person to win. This one was a telltale, because when Fazia got the card from Leon, her face lit up. So Alex was like, yeah, let me get that card up off ya, stupid. And then Leon and Fazia kind of had like a Russian roulette version, where it was just 8 cards on the table, and they just went flipping back to back, and whoever flipped the life card, they got to stay. And Leon was the one who flipped the life card as one of the final cards. I think it was like 3 left on the table. He flipped it and he got to stay. And Fazia is the one that ended up eliminated. So with this, the Traitors had to eliminate in plain sight as well. So they hand delivered her the letter. And Fazia, who was on Linda from day one, baby, when I tell y'all she was talking smack, baby, she was talking smack. She said, Linda, I knew it was you, Linda. Count your days, Linda. You're right behind me, Linda. Like, she was talking smack, okay? I laughed out loud, so I wanted to put that up in there. Okay, so now, so now they actually put the in plain sight death match. They put it as a part of a challenge where everybody had to find the 3 missing players and find out which one was eliminated. So I like how they actually tied it all into a challenge, which I think was similar probably from like another season, maybe season 2 of USA. I think because that's one of the freshest one off my mind. All right, let's go into another major plot point. Let's talk about our second eliminated traitor, Linda. We got some overacting here. So Olivia was eliminated at a round table, and Linda came in crying, and everybody's like, why is she crying for? She didn't even know Liv like that. And according to Linda, her and Liv did know each other. However, according to others, Liv didn't hang out with her like that, because don't forget, Liv was a part of Liv, Leon, Tyler, and Leanne's group, and Maya's group, right? Maya's gone. Tyler had just been eliminated, and Olivia was eliminated by the Traitors. So it's just Leon and Leanne left from that friend group. And after the cage challenge, after the deathmatch challenge, Leon kind of distanced himself from Leanne anyways. So that friend group just dismantled. And shout out to Mia for that. She did her thing with that. I'm not gonna hold you. But anyways, so that friend group was like, yeah, no, Liv never even talked to her like that. Matter of fact, Liv was suspicious of Linda. So when people find that out, it makes Linda look even more suspicious. Not only that, but she had heat on her since day one. And if your name is mentioned day one, I feel like you can never really shake that. So this is when Mina, the traitor, talks to Linda, and she basically is like, it's a lot of heat on you today. And Linda's like, if it comes to it and it's going to go that way, just vote for me and you take it all the way home. And at the round table, you don't have to tell Mina twice, because she's quick to vote for her fellow traitor. But honestly, in this case, Linda was going home. So, and she actually did get Linda's permission. Like, hey, I don't want you to sacrifice your game for me. If you have to, do what you got to do, and you take it home and you win. Right? So Linda is the second traitor that is eliminated. Oh, but at this round table, Mina's name was also brought up because if I'm not mistaken, Anna, who was a recruited attempt, is trying to figure out who in plain sight recruited me for, elimination. Mina, you told me to grab your cup. Is that what? So Mina's name was brought up at the same round table where Linda was eliminated. All right, so because we are down to one traitor left, it's time to recruit. And this recruitment is an ultimatum. So out of the recruitments, Mina is thinking Lisa, who is another older woman. You know, we got one older woman out. Two of them aren't going to be traitors, you know what I'm saying? But Lisa is also a priest. So she feels like, if I make Lisa a priest, is she going to be able to fulfill her traitor duties? Frankie, it was another option because Frankie Francesca has also had some heat on her, but not really. She is looked as the mother figure to a lot of people in the house. And then there's Charlotte. Now, Mina thinks that Charlotte is one of the faithful. She had heat on her at the very beginning of the game, but nothing since then. And she thinks that Charlotte will be able to trust her. So she decides to go with Charlotte as her new traitor recruit. Okay. Now, immediately, Charlotte is a natural at this, and she is quick to take over. So they get into the tower, talk about who they should eliminate. She throwing out names like that. She giving out scenarios like that. This is how traitors should work together. If you are coming off of US Season 3, please watch UK Series 3, because this is how traitors work together and make good decisions on top of that, okay? So, like I said, Charlotte takes quick to being a traitor, and she's coming into the traitor's tower with some secrets. Afraid that Mina might double cross her later, Charlotte actually keeps from Mina that not only is Mina's name floating around, but Charlotte is one of the people pushing Mina's name. And this was prior to the recruitment. So, but she just decided to keep that information for herself just in case she had to use it later, which honestly is smart. Now that we have a new recruit, let's talk about the downfall of one of our traitors. All right. So this is going to be the downfall of Mina. So during the chess game, where basically the traitors are asked questions and they you can either try to frame, try to put it as groupthink, or you could try to shake the table a little bit. I feel like this game in particular was Mina's downfall. Not only was her name out there, not a lot, by the way. Mina's name had probably been mentioned by like 2 people, okay? But sometimes 2 is enough. But not only is her name out there, this chess game, I feel like, really put a highlight on her. This is where I feel like she started messing up her game. So one of the questions was, who flies under the radar? And Mina, I think she nominated herself as well, and as did the other people. So I feel like she should have given the excuse like, well, if you think about the round table last night, I was accused of never speaking up at the round table. So I feel like the traitors were there. They probably would have answered that thinking that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, have an excuse for why that's the name, that the category you decide to fall under. So then Mina also highlighted Leanne for being two-faced, knowing that Leanne was going to lose her SHIT because Leanne is a firecracker. But I feel like Mina didn't think that this could be traced back to you, because in a previous challenge, Leanne and Dan, your 2 closest quote-unquote friends, marked you for not getting a shield and lied about it. And then Leanne later came out and told you the truth. So you would be one of the people to call her two-faced, right? Why would you do that? Now, honestly, what Mina could have done, though, is said that information was also brought out at the round tables in which the traitors sit at. So even though I feel like that chess game was her downfall, if Mina had a well-prepared argument at the round table, she probably could have survived, or at least survived one more night. But at the round table, Charlotte was really quiet. Somebody asked Charlotte, hey, well, what do you think, Charlotte? I think it was Alexander. And she did say, well, Mina, you are like really perfect. You're a wonderful woman. You don't speak up too much. Maybe you could be a traitor. Or Alexander, it could be you, because you came into the game late and we don't know if you're a traitor. I was like, why would you say Mina's name? When she said Mina's name, I said, Mina, this is what you get, because you voted for Armani and you voted for Linda. You also turned on your traitor sisters. So I'm not surprised that this is the karma for you. And that is when Mina was eliminated. Now we are almost toward the end of the season, you guys. So before we get into it, be sure you give the video a thumbs up. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I'm not expecting to get a whole lot of views because I'm about 2 minutes late on UK time, and I don't know how many US Trader fans watch the other countries. So please make sure y'all engage with the video and push me into the algorithm, okay? Let's go ahead and get into our final recruited trader. So now that we are down to one trader, being the new trader, Charlotte, she has to recruit, and this recruit is an ultimatum. So she decides that she is going to recruit Freddie. Now, Freddie already has a lot of suspicion on him. He had a lot of heat at the beginning of the game. It kind of died down. However, a lot of people are thinking we've got 3 female traders. There has to be a male trader in the mix. So because there's only 3 men left, she decides, well, let me get Freddie. He already has heat on him, and I could also frame him for an upcoming elimination. So let's talk about that framing, shall we? Oh, by the way, he did not want to be a traitor, but he just did not want to be out of the game. So he was so reluctant, and I could see it in his eyes. He was like, I don't even want to be here right now. What am I doing right now? So when Charlotte roped him in, they're in the Traitors Tower, and Charlotte does this, tries to get him to eliminate his best friend in the group, Leanne. But Charlotte knows that Leanne has a shield because Leanne told Charlotte and 2 other people that she had a shield. Charlotte did not tell Freddie this. So Freddie's like, yeah, let's get rid of Leanne. Yeah, it'll never be tied back to me. Sure, let's do that. So the next day at breakfast, when Leanne comes walking through the door, Freddie is obviously gobsmacked because she's still here. Leanne shows her shield, and Leanne says at the breakfast table, only 3 people knew I had this shield. And she names those people. And if I'm not mistaken, it was Jake, Francesca, and Charlotte. And when she said Charlotte's name, you could see the life drain from Freddie. Like, this set me up. And I was thinking, honestly, Charlotte, good gameplay, because I never would have thought to do that. Now, of course, Charlotte played it to Freddie like I thought it was going to frame Alexander. That's why I didn't tell you. But she was like, and it's kind of framing him too. It's framing you in him. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, out of all the people throughout this season, a lot of faithful have gone. And the only faithful I feel like are justified in leaving is Leon because of the deathmatch challenge. Alexander because of the he came back in the game late. We don't know if you're a faithful trader, and you were in the deathmatch challenge, and they think it was a trader in the deathmatch challenge. That's why I said that for Leon. And Dan, because he was just selfish. All the other faithfuls, they really got rid of for no hard, evident reasons, honestly. So that's how Charlotte is trying to spin it to Freddie. So at the breakfast table, of course, he's shocked though, right? And he ends up getting caught in a lie. Long story short, he ended up getting caught in a lie. He said, Mina told me that you had the shield. And everybody was like, Mina was eliminated last night. How did Mina know? I didn't tell Mina I had the shield. And when I told people I had the shield, it was after her elimination. So he was like, huh? What? I mean, well, she must have been asking me if you had the shield, trying to get information out of me or something. I said, oh, Freddie, baby. Go home. Freddie said he wanted to win the game to take his mom on holiday and to pay for law school because he wants to be a lawyer. And I was thinking, Freddie, don't do it because you're not good at lying. And I'm not saying lawyers lie, but lawyers definitely have to bend and stretch the truth to work in their favor. And Freddie, you are not good at that, sir. So long story short, this leads to Freddie's banishment. And he, of course, had to reveal that he was a traitor because he was at the time. However, Freddie, what I would have done, I wish he had done this in his speech. I would have been like, you know, I came into the game, never wanted to be a traitor. I don't feel like I had that in me. And I still don't think I had that in me. You know what I'm saying? So I leave this game as a traitor. And that way people would have known, okay, he was recruited, so who would recruit him? Drop some breadcrumbs for the faithfuls. I saw your interview, Freddie. You said you wanted the faithfuls to win. That's the only reason why you took the role as a traitor, right? Drop some breadcrumbs for them then, sir. All right, you guys. Before we get into our home stretch, we are down to the finale episodes 11 and 12. Make sure y'all give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and leave your thoughts and opinions per usual. All right, here we go. So Just like in the US season, like I said, if you're coming fresh off the US season, they had the seer challenge as well. And of course, not when you are eliminated at the top 5, right? Top 5, top 6, top 5, you don't have to reveal if you were a traitor or a faithful. So with the seer power, in that challenge, Alexander helped Frankie get coins. Okay, so honestly, it was between Frankie and Freddie of who was going to get the seer. Obviously, Freddie wanted the seer, so maybe that would buy him a little bit more time in the game, but he ended up being eliminated anyways. So Frankie is the winner of the seer. Now, Alexander helped Frankie get this power so she could ask him what his identity was. A lot of people were suspicious of Alexander. He would have been the next to go. He wanted somebody to help him clear his name. That's why he helped Frankie get that power. However, when Frankie gets the power, she's like, should I call somebody I'm suspicious of, or should I solidify one of my relationships that I'm sure of? You know what I'm saying? So I could have an alliance person to go to the end with, knowing us two faithfuls, and if all else fails, we could vote everybody else out together. So with that being said, am I saying Charlotte? Frankie invites Charlotte, who's a traitor, to the seer dinner. I said, oh my God. And because Charlotte was unexpecting of it, like she didn't even think like, that's my homegirl. She would never call me, Charlotte, you are needed in the parlor room. I said, oh shit. How are you going to get out of this? How are you going to get out of this? So of course they go into the dinner. Charlotte is smiling the whole time. Frankie is shaking because she is nervous. She said, I don't know why I'm so nervous. I don't know why I'm so nervous. So she opens up the envelope, and of course it says traitor. And she is just gobsmacked, shocked. She almost started crying. So while she is going through all the emotions, Charlotte is sitting there smiling. It's a little bit menacing. It's like, girl, you called her real life crazy. And she was like, this doesn't leave this room, right? She said, I'm only a traitor in this room. She said, out there, I'm known as a faithful. I was like, oh my God. So what's her name? Frankie was like, are you going to say that I'm a traitor? And Charlotte was like, I don't know. I was like, oh my God. So not only did Frankie's number one, she realized it's not her number one anymore. That's now her op. And her op may try to tell people that she's the traitor. It's like, what am I to do? So, oh my God, y'all. Honestly, Charlotte's only gameplay was to flip it. So at breakfast the next morning, when I tell y'all really have to watch the show. If you didn't, you really need to watch the show. Because Frankie came into breakfast, baby, she looked like a ghost. Her hair was all over the place. Her eyes was big. The color from her face was drained. She was trying to signal to the remaining players, like, she's a traitor. She's a traitor. Like, look at me. Her eyes, like, she was trying to give it to them, like, traitor behind me. So when she going around giving everybody a hug in the morning like they do for breakfast, she whispers in Jake's ear, and she says, traitor. He's like, what? Huh? So now that they sit down, everybody's like, okay, but what happened at the meeting? Like, tell us. Nobody wants to speak. Frankie specifically doesn't want to speak because I don't think she knew what to say, or if she said the wrong thing, how Charlotte was going to try to spin it. So Charlotte actually speaks first, still got that creepy smile on that she had last night. She was like, well, we went in there and we was at the table, and she had an envelope, and she saw that it said that I was a faithful. And Frankie's face was like, what? Like, this, it did not say that. Like, it's all over her face. And then so Charlotte is like, but I can tell that she's probably going to try to spin it on me now because she's acting so different to me right now. And I was like, oh, see, that's the problem, Frankie. You let her get the head up. You let her say something first. Oh my God. So Frankie is like, that's not what happened. We were in the dinner. I opened the envelope. It said that she's a traitor. So now is her word, Frankie's word versus Charlotte's word. And it's like that the whole episode. And baby, when I tell you Charlotte turns it on, baby, she turns it on. She's crying. She's my number one. I don't know why she would do this to me. And matter of fact, with Charlotte doing that crying and saying, I don't know why she would try to frame me, everybody else starts thinking, why would Frankie try to frame you? Because if Frankie is the traitor and you didn't get her identity, she got yours, what interest does Frankie have saying that you are the traitor? So it's down to the round table. And like I said, the whole episode is Frankie versus Charlotte. And surprisingly, the people vote for Charlotte to leave. Of course, she cannot disclose her identity if she's a faithful or a traitor. So it's time to go to the finale. I said it's so much suspicion on this group, and that's where I could give a shout out to the traitors. They really made sure that everybody had dirt on their name. They made sure everybody had dirt on their name. Alexander is suspicious of Leanne. Leanne is suspicious of Alexander. What's that girl name? Frankie is suspicious of Alexander as well. And she tries to come to Leanne mother to mother and like, I feel like I could only end this game with you. Even though Jake or Jack, sorry for the mispronunciation, he has kind of proven himself as a faithful of faithfuls. And I really feel like Mina should have eliminated him when Linda left. That would have been the perfect time to get him out the game. They really dropped the ball there. Because he was one of the first traitor hunters. So nobody, he kind of solidified himself as a faithful as well. But anyhow, I text my mom, I said, this is going to come down to 2 faithfuls simply because there's no more traitors left. They don't know that. But they don't trust each other. So they are going to vote everybody out until they can't vote no more. And that's exactly what they did. I knew poor Alexander was going to be the first to go. He knew it too because nobody voted to end the game, by the way. And he still had you came in late. We don't know if you're a traitor or faithful, and you survived the death game. You're the only one that survived the death game, and you're still here. So he just had too much suspicion on him. I knew he wasn't gonna win. Poor Alexander. So then it came down to the 3: Jake, Frankie, and Leanne. So everybody voted to vote again, but Jake is trying to get out, but Jake and Leanne trying to get out Charlotte. I mean, what's her name? Frankie, because of something that Charlotte said at the round table. So at the round table, they was like, Charlotte, don't trust you. They said, don't trust this woman. And we really don't know what happened in that room with y'all. So just to be safe in our spirit, we got to vote you out. And they did that. So the last 2 winners ended up being, let me get this man proper name, Jake and Leanne. And they end up splitting the money, which I think kind of totaled out to like $63,000 in US money. I knew it was going to come down to this. And it's just so heartbreaking that all of y'all were actually faithfuls, but none of y'all trusted each other. Well, you guys, that is my series review for season 3 of the Traitors UK. My final thoughts on the season, I thought it was a great season. I wasn't really bored at all. Like, there were some down moments, but it wasn't that many. You know what I'm saying? The action definitely kept going. And even the finale was still interesting because I knew that none of them trusted each other. And that always makes it more fun. I've said this multiple times, but the US definitely needs a civilian version. They could either go back to how they did season 1 with civilians and celebrities, or you can just do like we did Big Brother. Big Brother is civilians, and then they had a celebrity Big Brother. So we could have the traitors, and then we could have traitor civilians. I don't know. Because I want to be on there. Okay. Same as such, I feel like they took the critique that we know that the challenges are interesting. So challenges with primarily for money and shields really helps the game be interesting. And I just feel like civilians are more smarter than celebrities. We don't know each other. There are no stereotypes. So we really just going off of what happens in the game and our quote unquote intuition, regardless if that intuition might be prejudiced or not. I didn't even get into that like I should have. I guess we could do a quick shout out to, what's that lady name? Elaine, who came out like episode 1 or 2 and stated, I feel like this will be a female dominated Traitor season because we have a lot of dominant female personalities in this group. They voted her off quick and she ended up being right anyway. So I know she feels at least vindicated in that sense. Yeah, you guys. Well, that's my final thoughts for the Traitors UK. Be sure you like the video if you enjoyed my commentary. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And of course, consider subscribing for more reviews, reactions, and commentary to movies and television. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.